No, when Mittens gets mad, she looks like this. Whoa, I almost passed out.
Wow, so yesterday was Thanksgiving. It's only fitting this video is about family. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk, and I'm here to talk to you about the Owl House, or more specifically, Edric and Amira, aka the Blight twins. We first meet them in episode 7, Lost in Language.
Who are you?
Well-wishers on a mission.
A noble quest.
At the time, Luce and Amity were still not on good terms.
Do you see me going to the owl shack and bugging you while you fry up owls?
But Luce wanted to go the Steven Universe route of hounding Amity until she felt beaten down enough to be friends.
Hey, I could help with the kids. We could take turns reading and do voices. I do the best monster voice.
Yeah, I think the message is supposed to be it's easier to be friends with somebody when you actively aren't trying to force it, especially if you aren't on good terms to start with, but it's still an effect. In one such excursion, she meets Amity's siblings, both of whom are upperclassmen and illusionist students. Luce believes she bullies them.
She is not my friend. Yeah, makes sense. She seems too cool for you. I am? You can leave now, all of you!
Too bad she learns all too late Amity is like Vanessa Gecko. She is one of those people who was a totally different person outside of school or work.
I want my badge! Abominations! Seize!
Goodbye, Miss Amity. Thank you.
Thank you, Braxis. See you next time.
Sure, that doesn't necessarily mean Amity's a good person, but to somebody like Luce, it's really jarring.
Amity seems so nice and smiley.
With this lack of knowledge, Luce befriends the twins, and they pull various pranks throughout the library, most of which are annoying but harmless.
Fiction. Fiction? Fiction? Is our world but fiction? Then what in my life is real anymore?
Eventually, they convince Luce to pull one big prank on Amity.
She keeps tattling on us when we cut class.
She needs to learn not to mess with people like that, so we're going to find her diary.
And then post the pages all around school for everyone to see.
Not willing to do something so personal, the twins abandon Luce. The episode did them no favors. A future episodes implied they likely didn't know they were going too far. At worst, it's just siblings being siblings.
They've been extra protective and nice towards me to make up for the library incident.
And we still apologize every day.
In each subsequent episode, they are arguably much better and cooler to Amity, even doing things that would get them in trouble with Odalia. Each video I make on the Blights, I tend to highlight a problem I have with them. For Mr. Blight, I made the point I hate how people are keen to sanitize him over his wife. Sure, he's arguably the lesser of two evils, but he still does nothing to help Amity's situation. And when he does, it's in the name of the family.
Alia, you made a deal with your daughter, and a Blight always upholds their end of the deal.
Not because his daughter's getting abused, or Odalia wants to murder a kid whose only crime was choosing the wrong friend. With Amity, I said she was an awesome character, but because her arc has the most potential, she has a tendency to overpower the other characters, even her love interest. It didn't help her attraction to said love interest became her defining trait for a little while.
And today, I'll show Luce that I am an awesome girlfriend. Stay away from my Luce! As Luce's girlfriend, I get it, Boots.
With the Blight twins, I wanted to do something similar, but I couldn't think of any problem with them. Truth be told, I do have an issue with them, but it has less to do with them as characters. To me, they're okay. I mean, they're side characters, so I don't expect them to have the same impact as Ida or King. My problem, well, it might be counterintuitive to what I say about Amity, but I want to know more about them, specifically in relation to their home lives. While the show makes the point that Blight parents are obviously abusive, we only see them abusing Amity. In real life, it is totally possible to be an abusive parent, but to abuse only one child, but we don't know if that's true here. She's the only one with the high expectations, a family legacy to live up to. She's the one who has to dye her hair and wear a terrible necklace. As far as we know, the twins never suffer any consequences for their actions, nor are they held to such a high critical standard. I have a lot of questions about how their home life works when the parents are around. I even put a poll out to ask you guys what you thought, and the responses I got were pretty interesting. Honestly, I didn't expect you guys to pick one option. I don't put these polls out because they're rigged. I am generally curious about what you guys say. So for this video, I'm doing something I haven't done since my Dagmar review, where I instead list possible scenarios the show might take, and how likely each is. So let's begin. Number 1. The twins are spoiled. In Lost in Language, Luce finds Amity's diary, and she reads this.
It's not fair. I'm the only one who knows Ed and Em aren't perfect. Why do they keep getting away with things?
Some people have taken this to mean that Edric and Amira don't have any rules to follow. Or worse, their parents are more lenient or make excuses for them. For the abomination demonstration, they don't have to help out. And better yet, they get to hex the attendees. This section is going to be pretty light because I don't think that's likely. If Edric and Amira really were spoiled, wouldn't Amity say it? Or wouldn't we see it? Wouldn't Odalia say something like, Amity, you have friends and you're falling behind in your schoolwork? This wouldn't have happened with your brother and sister. And it doesn't seem in character for Odalia to spoil somebody. She's a very you pull your own weight kind of mom. Sure, in real life sometimes there isn't a reason you're the favorite, it just happens. But whenever the show brings up favoritism, they make the point there usually is a reason.
And Lilith, you were always so self-sufficient. But I didn't give you the attention you deserved.
There is no surface reason I can think of for the two to be favored over Amity. What could there be to like about them in comparison? Which brings me to my next scenario. Number 2. The twins are abused. This is the one I went with. I mean, look at how they are.
Now, you'll be taking double the classes to make up for lost time. Actually, I'm appalled that you're not in class right now. What are you thinking?
Why would they do it to Amity and not them? The biggest indicator for me was the twins are never seen hanging out with anybody but their sister, and sometimes loose. A way many abusive parents try to keep you dependent on them is by vetting the people who you talk to. Odalia and Alador love to choose Amity's friends for her.
Nonsense. Blights only associate with the strongest of witchlings. You may choose a new friend from one of the suitable companions we invited.
Perhaps they did the same to Edric and Amira, only because they're twins, they got it much worse. Now they can only hang out with each other.
Want to say our greatest fears? On 3. 1, 2, being alone forever.
Being stuck with you forever.
What if she's dead serious, but just trying to frame it as a joke? Then again, we never see this in effect a lot of the time. So what if I met you in the middle in my next scenario? Number 3. The twins are abused, but not to the same extent as Amity. To me, this is the likeliest, if not for one possibility I have down the line. I've said it throughout the video, but considering how much emphasis the Blights put on family, it's weird we never see the older siblings being told the same. However, what if there are signs of that abuse already? Maybe Odalia isn't forcing them to get straight A's, but she could be controlling them in other ways. Many parents love to dress their children up the same, twins most of all. You see this all the time in cartoons, but some psychologists say you shouldn't do this in real life because it robs the child of their individuality.
I joined the circus because I was scared of spending the rest of my life as part of a matched set.
I think the Ember Island episode was onto something. Since the Owl House likes to go the realistic route, and since they seem to be big Avatar fans, that could be a distinct possibility. You can argue, oh, maybe they did it, but only as kids. But there's signs of it when they're teenagers. Notice how Edric and Amira dress near identically, to the point of looking like clones. Sure, they're twins, and Hexite has uniforms, but this extends even outside of school. The only difference is usually tiny things like jewelry. Seriously, put them in a blue dress and they put the Grady twins to shame. Just as Amity has to color coordinate with her siblings, Edric and Amira had to coordinate with each other. Or what if things are more benign? What if, number 4, the twins know how to play the game? The reason some kids get away with not getting yelled at is they know how to stay on their parents' good side, which we call playing the game. They know just the right thing to say so Odalia doesn't yell at them, and they know what to do when she isn't around. They obviously still could be abused, but because they know how to stay off their mom's radar, they can avoid it most of the time. What if, say, they had a report card, and they got a D instead of an A? They could just forge the signature, or have Alador sign it. Since they're illusionists, it'd be no problem. Actually, that gives me more questions, all things considered. The golden rule about rule breaking is you can be as naughty as you want, just don't get caught. The twins, for all their faults, adhere to this virtue. Whenever they help Amity, they always do so on one condition: don't tell mom.
You're helping? Of course. Just don't tell Mom. I think it looks great. But yeah, maybe don't tell her I helped.
Besides, most of what they do isn't illegal per se.
You've made reading far too fun. Now stay out!
No need to call somebody's parents just because they put a kick me sign on you. This might be great for them, but maybe they don't have to worry about Odalia for one final reason. Number 5. The twins are ignored. This is the biggest one, and the one most people point to. They're ignored. They're ignored. They're ignored! The reason why we never see Odalia or Alador interacting with them is they never do so. Odalia focuses all her attention on Amity and the business, and Alador is busy making abominations or chasing butterflies. For the twins, this is both a blessing blessing and a curse. On the one hand, they don't have to strive for the top, but on the other, they lose out on that parental connection. In most narcissistic or toxic families, children take on various roles. There's the golden child, who can do no wrong, the scapegoat, who gets all the blame, and the lost child, or the child who gets ignored in favor of everybody else. The twins are illusionists, and as Through the Looking Glass establishes, illusion is the most stigmatized track. Amity, on the other hand, is an abomination student. Because of how it's treated, Blight Industries is like Apple, or Willow's parents told her they'd be more opportunities, I like to consider abominations are equivalent to STEM majors. Compared to the twins, Amity has the most talent and the most opportunity in life, so she gets all the pressure because she can carry her family to the top. The Owl House loves its foils, so the Blights, in a way, foil the Clawthorns. Gwen showers all her love on her youngest because she's sick, but at the same time, Ida's a troublemaker. Why not Lilith? Because she doesn't need the attention. She's self-sufficient. It's cruel to say, but unfortunately, Gwen did think she was doing the right thing. Otalia might be showering all her cruelty onto her youngest, but in the process, she's ignoring the eldest two who need her. Maybe if they were in love, they wouldn't be doing what they do. We all have our secret theories, and mine is the Blight twins commit so many pranks, specifically to get attention, not just because they know they'll get away with it.
You couldn't get enough attention when you were a kid, so you're trying to make up for it now.
Only the parents just don't care. Remember how when escaping expulsion, Luce goes to Blight Manor and sees the family portrait? Sure, the twins are smiling, but pictures tell 1,000 words. But hey, I'm not a shrink. Until then, what are your thoughts? Or wait, do they just use illusions on their parents?